Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Jonah channel. We are continuing the Mark series with chapter 7. Now I know I missed yesterday, but to make up for that, chapter 8 will be out today at 6 p.m. As we go through these chapters, put any questions you have or insights that you have in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, and I will do my best when it comes to responding and answering those questions. With that being said, let's dive into Mark chapter 7. Alright, we're going to just start in verse 1. The traditions of the elders. Now when the Pharisees and some of the scribes who had come from Jerusalem gathered around him, they noticed that some of his disciples were eating with the defiled hands, that is, without washing them. For the Pharisees and all the Jews do not eat unless they thoroughly wash their hands, thus observing the traditions of the elders, and they do not eat anything from the market unless they wash it. There are also many other traditions that they observe, the washing of cups, pots, and bronze kettles. So the Pharisees and the scribes asked him, "Why do your disciples not live according to the traditions of the elders, but eat with defiled hands?" He said to them, "Isaiah prophesies rightly about you, you hypocrites, as it is written, this people honors me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. In vain do they worship me, teaching humans precepts as doctrines. You abandon the commandments of God and hold on to human tradition." Then he said to them, "You have a fine way of rejecting the commandments of God in order to keep your traditions. For Moses said, 'Honor your father and your mother, and whoever speaks evil of a father or mother must surely die.' But you say that if anyone tells a father or a mother, 'Whatever you support you might have had from me is Corban,' that is an offering to God. Then you no longer permit doing anything for a father or mother, thus making void of the word of God through your traditions that you have handed on. And you do many things like this." Then he called the crowd again and said to them, "Listen to me, all of you, and understand. There is nothing outside a person that by going in can defile, but the things that come out of the flesh that defile." When he had left the crowd and entered the house, his disciples asked him about the parable. He said to them, "Then do you also fail to understand? Do you not see that whatever goes into a person from outside cannot defile, since it enters not the heart but the stomach, and goes out into the sewer?" Thus he declared all food clean, and he said, "It is what comes out of a person that defiles, for it is from within, from the human heart, that evil intentions come from: fornication, theft, murder, adultery, avarice, wickedness, deceit, envy, slander, pride, and folly. All these evil things come from within, and they defile a person." The Pharisees questioned why the disciples didn't follow tradition when it came to washing their hands and eating. But yet their pride in their traditions have blinded them and taken priority over their relationship with God. We see this happen with the Sabbath and with this. They have too much pride in them. Their pride in the passing of traditions coming. What comes out of a person is what defines them. And in this, pride defines the Pharisees. Pride defines them. And they have lack of wisdom with God. They ignore all of Jesus' teachings. They ignore his claims to be God because of their pride. On to the next section. Verse 4. From there he sat out and went away to the region of Tyre. He entered a house and did not want anyone to know he was there. Yet he could not escape notice. But a woman whose little daughter had an unclean spirit immediately heard about him, and she came and bowed down at his feet. Now the woman was a Gentile of Syrophoenician origin. She begged him to cast the demon out of her daughter. And he said to her, "Let the children be fed first, for it is not fair to take the children's food and throw it to the dogs." But she answered him, "Sir, even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs." Then he said to her, "For saying that, you may go. The demon has left your daughter." So she went home and found the child lying on the bed, and the demon gone. When he says this about the children eating first, he is not demeaning any Gentile from this, because he came to initially teach the Jews because he is their Messiah, but he's also there for other people. He's not there just for the Jews, but for everyone, and the Gentiles especially. The woman was a Gentile, and yet she called him Lord. This shows that Jesus isn't just here for the Israelites or the Jews. His mission wasn't limited to a certain people group. He came for everyone. Just as it says in John 3:15, "For God so loved the world." That is not limited to just one people group, but it's everyone in the world. It is every single person who hears the voice of the Lord. Anyone who hears the gospel, Jesus is for them. He is not limited to one type of people, but he came for everyone. Jesus cures a deaf man. This is verse 31. Then he returned from the region of Tyre and went by way of Sidon towards the cloud. There, a voice. I accidentally skipped 2 pages. Sea of Galilee and the region of the Decapolis. They brought to him a deaf man who had an impediment in his speech, and they begged him to lay his hands on him. He took him inside in private, away from the crowd, and put his fingers onto his ears, and he spat and touched his tongue. Then looked up to heaven. He sighed and said to him, Ephatha, that is, be opened. And immediately his ears were opened, his tongue was released, and he spoke plainly. Then Jesus ordered them to tell no one. But the more he ordered them, the more zealously they proclaimed it. They were astonished beyond measure, saying, "He has done everything well. He even makes the deaf to hear and the mute to speak." The man's conditions are he is deaf. He has his speech is impaired. In the Bible, those often mirror spiritual realities. You can't hear God and you can't speak truth clearly. And what just happened in the story? Jesus takes him aside privately and he heals him. This is tender. This isn't stage performance. It's not a public spectacle. Jesus meets him in a way that fits his world of silence and isolation. Miracles aren't mechanical. They're personal encounters. Jesus sighed. He sighed. That sigh is a deep emotion, grief, compassion, and the weight of broken creation. This isn't just fixing an ear. It's confronting the damage of the fall. Every healing in Mark is a small invasion of the future kingdom into pursuit and present brokenness. Because of this, he cures him. Ephatha, be opened. This is one word. And notice the passive from be opened and not I open you. It sounds like a Genesis language, like creation responding to its maker, and immediately, ears opened, tongues are released, and speech becomes clear. Creation obeys its creator. The silence commands. Again, he says, tell no one. Because people keep reducing him to a wonder worker, a healer, and a spectacle. But his identity can't be understood without the cross. Too much publicity equals a wrong expectation. But they can't help it. Joy overflows from them. Their statement is huge here. He has done everything well. This echoes Genesis, specifically chapter 1. God saw all that he had made and said it was very good. They're saying it without realizing it. This is creator level restoration. Then he makes the deaf man hear and the mute speak. That's straight out of Isaiah's Messiah prophecies, Isaiah 35, 5-6. They're declaring the age of salvation is here. This is a chapter that is people acknowledging and claiming these godly characteristics over Jesus without realizing even. Again, this is good. He did everything well. That is, again, a creation of God, supplements of God. obeying the Creator, that is another supplement of God. All of this is Jesus, again, confirming that he has power that only God has. And with that, Jesus is making his mission clear, his statement clear. His claims are clear here of him being Messiah. All right. And that's kind of all that I have for chapter 7. I know this one's is much shorter than the rest. But with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the Super Bowl and be back in an hour because chapter 8 will be up. Again, I said it at the beginning. Chapter 8 will be out at 6 p.m. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video as well, just as much as you enjoyed this one. Again, leave a comment down below, like the video, and subscribe, and come back for more. All right.